Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and we are starting a new campaign. This is Nerdarchy does Gamma World 7th edition. This game was specifically built with Dungeons & Dragons 4th edition. It's a very unusual game. It uses a smaller book, a smaller physical book, and it came in a box, which was really unique. And then it also incorporates cards. So very unusual format. And at this point, we're going to go around and introduce our characters. Your characters all know one another, right? And if you can tell me how you guys met, there may be a reward in it for you. Go right ahead.
All right, I'll go first. Hi, my name is Mike. I'll be playing Aaron Goodwin, a hypercognitive speedster. I know Red because he likes to borrow my horse every now and then because I don't use my horse.
I have two of them.
You two horses?
Yes.
Ah, but you never have too many, right?
And this will be the slowest I will be speaking in character from now on.
Oh my goodness. That was good. And by working with him, of course, you've had many adventures. And what is the Omega Tech that you earned in those adventures?
A dim photonic sphere.
And you get your choice. You may now switch that with your ready card and put your ready card back in your deck, or you may keep your ready card and put that into your Omega Tech deck. All right. Red, or actually, go right ahead, David.
My name is David. I'm playing Red. He's a Saurian Yeti, but so I prefer to call him Raptor Yeti because that's more so what he looks like.
Nice.
And I've been on a few adventures with my buddy Gary over there. I was on those adventures because he's a pretty fun guy.
And actually, you're correct. But when you actually met him, you had to go into an area that was populated by other fungoids. And when you did, you gained an alpha mutation, which you can switch with your ready card, or you can put it right into your alpha mutation deck. Ready. And what was that alpha mutation?
Hands of Time.
Nice. Very nice. Go ahead and read it so everybody has an idea of what.
You touch a foe and send it spiraling through the space-time continuum.
Nice. Keep going.
Okay, standard action, melee 1, target 1 creature, attack level +3 versus reflex. Hit 3d8 plus twice your level psychic damage and the target is removed from play. While under this effect, the target can't take any actions and has neither line of sight nor line of effect to any creature, and no creature has line of sight or a line of effect to it. When this effect ends, the target reappears in its square, or in the nearest unoccupied square of its choice. Roll d6 to determine the duration of the effect. 1 to 2 equals until the start of your next turn. 3 to 4 is until the end of your next turn. 5 to 6 is save ends.
Nice. Very good.
So you're a what kind of Yeti?
Sword.
Sword. Now, actually, with your Raptor Yeti, is he shaped like a raptor and has fur? Or is he shaped like a Yeti and has a raptor skin?
He's more so a taller raptor with like fur that's tinted red.
Nice.
So like it's the original white Yeti fur, but it's tinted red because like that was the skin of the raptor.
Oh, nice. That's good. Very cool. Very cool.
So
all right.
I just put this in.
Dave, hit me.
I am going to be playing. Well, my name is Nerdarchy Dave. You may have seen me in several videos around here. I'm going to be playing a giant seismic named Golem, the Mountain That Walks.
Nice.
And Golem wears a smart car. The bottom of it has actually been completely kicked out of it. There's no trunk left. And his head has gone through the windshield and his arms are out the windows.
He wears a smart car as armor.
The hood has been removed and so has the engine, so it actually makes like a hood over his head.
Are you telling me that thing gives you an AC bonus? I very much doubt.
Maybe it's an old Volkswagen
Smart cars
bug.
do give AC bonus. Product placement. Go ahead.
And he actually had someone tie a manhole cover to his left arm that uses a shield because he kept putting it down. So it's been tied there. And he knows Mark's character, but he doesn't actually know Mark's character's name and he just calls him Pretty Kitty and Light Kitty, and has been following him around for months and will not leave him alone. He's tried losing him several times. It was actually during a conflict that Pretty Kitty had gotten into that he decided to let Golem follow him around, because he came in quite handy.
Nice.
When he was set upon by bandits.
Now, actually, I'm going to explain right now. This entire game takes place in Gammerica. This entire game is set in a post-apocalyptic world, and it is right here in our own nation of America. But what caused this world is the explosion of the Hadron Collider in the early 2000s, and since then, the world has been swept with all kinds of mutations that come from the gamma radiation from that horrible explosion of the Hadron Collider. The explosion was so strong that it ripped holes in dimensions. And so the theory of all possible worlds, now those worlds are literally bleeding in left and right into Gammerica. And you guys met in Cleveland, and and when we start our adventure, you guys will be in Baltimore, okay? And this is the Omega Tech that the two of you got in Cleveland, or that you received in Cleveland.
I also have a draft horse named Sir Gregor.
Nice.
And he pulls my pickup truck around.
Very cool.
That I use to just keep random junk in that I find. Usually there's an assortment of rocks that I like, and I swap them out often.
I really, really liked the idea for the smart car as armor. I'm going to give 15 XP for that. Write that down. Go right ahead.
Hey everybody, Nerdocus Ted. I will be playing Gary, the Fungoid Regenerator, the first vicar of the Gygaxian religion, holder of the sacred texts, which you'll see me quoting from time to time. He actually was a Myconid from the D&D world that, when the worlds collided, had a gaming shop crash into it. When they looked into things like the Monster Manual, it described things that exist in their world. So how could it be anything but a religious text? So they actually worship Gary Gygax, and he has adopted the name Gary. When he was traveling with his compatriots, he came upon Golem, and he actually attempted to engage him in conversation. It didn't work out very well, but he was so flummoxed because he was called Golem, and yet constructs in this book look nothing like him. He tried to convince him that he's an earth elemental, as it says in page 38 of the Monster Manual. It says it right here. So there will be times that he will try to convince Golem that he should be elemental instead.
So the second edition of actually all of the player's handbooks, the Dungeon Master Guide, and the Monster Manuals are holy texts.
Yes, he has the player's handbook from multiple editions, as well as the Dungeon Master's Guide from the second, and the Monster Manual from the first.
That's awesome.
And he reads through them as if they were the Bible of his religion.
For having props, I'm going to give you 25 XP. Just so everybody's aware, this game it has 10 levels. So once you reach 10th level, that is essential. So essentially, in this game, each level would be 2 levels in Dungeons and Dragons. And in order to get to your first level, you need 500 XP. So that's your goal to reach level 2. Okay? And thank you very much. Appreciate it. And Mark?
Hi, my name is Mark. I'm playing Grex Panthera. He's a felinoid, radioactive. He was a lion that, when all this happened, he became sentient and was struck by the radiation. And so he's aware enough to know that most of this is caused by man, so he doesn't particularly care for humans. There are certain humanoids he tolerates, mainly Golem, because he just can't shake him, and he did come in handy a couple times. So now if he's walking with somebody, he'll sit on Golem's shoulder if he can, because he's a rock, and it's like when he walks, it scratches his back real nice. And he likes that.
All right.
What is
very
your,
good.
Now, what is his favorite rock band? Is it Panthera?
Could be.
Very good.
I'd say
very
Marilyn
good.
Manson.
That was excellent. Very good. 10 XP for the description there.
I forgot to
Yes.
mention. So, when I was rolling up my equipment and gear stuff, I got a horse to pull the truck that I had also gotten.
Nice.
And I
okay.
also have a riding horse. So
Awesome.
my draft horse does not have to pull my weight as well.
Nice.
And then I got a foosball table. So I put the foosball table in the bed of the truck, so we got entertainment.
There you go. That's excellent. We'll give 10 XP for that. That was very good. Thank you guys for describing your characters. And with that, let us begin Nerdarchy Gamma World 7th edition campaign, Rift Sweep. That is the name of this campaign. All right. You guys are traveling from Baltimore. And the reason why you're traveling from Baltimore is that essentially they're in what the locals call the Skimmer Harbor. There was an old submarine that had sunk. And essentially you guys raised that submarine. And the way you did it was going out and getting jugs of old milk cartons and actually inflating those and getting all kinds of inflatables and going down and slaying monsters and raising this old submarine that was in the Skimmer Harbor in Baltimore. And for that, you have 2 Omega Techs. Everybody can roll a d20, and the highest are going to receive those. Good luck.
Not me.
And if anybody has any type of anything that's lucky, that would come in. If they have any
17.
lucky powers. Okay.
What am I trying to do?
So, everybody's trying to beat a 17.
Nope, I didn't.
I got a
Nobody beats a
14.
17. Here you go. That's 1 Omega. Wait, is that Alpha or Omega?
It's an Omega Tech.
Yeah, perfect. Okay. And then anybody beat a 15, 14, 12, 11?
Didn't you say you
14.
rolled?
14,
Well, you already have one, right?
No. Well, I had gotten one from...
Well, I just gave you one, so you're out, right?
No,
Anybody
you gave one
over?
to Dave.
He got...
Oh, I'm sorry. And you were next?
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Okay, so, and what were the Omega Techs that you guys received? Just the title.
I got a Mind Bore Orbiter.
Nice.
I got an erratic rifle hound.
Okay.
So does that become readied, or is that...
Because nothing has been used, you guys, what will then happen, as I understand it, is you can switch it out, and so you can switch it out with your readied Omega Tech, or you can put it into your deck. Okay. All right. Yeah, we'll go that way. Okay. All right. And now we are running it for the first time. If anybody thinks, hey, we should do it a different way, I'm more than willing to hear it. All right. Okay. All right. So at that point, you guys are heading up toward New York. And the reason you're heading up toward New York is you have one I Heart New York magnet, right? Which people would, in today's instance, would have been bought for $1.50 and would be put onto a refrigerator, right?
Okay.
Right. And it has I Heart NY, right? And behind it is a rainbow theme, right? Silliest little thing in the world, but right now New York City is controlled by mutated bulls and mutated bears that stay near Wall Street, right? And they are trying to establish this as a currency. In Gamerica, there is no established currency. There are places that have scripts and jots, but money can generally only be spent in one place, and far more, like 99% of all commerce is barter. Currently, the bulls in New York are on Wall Street are offering up to 4 Omega Techs for a single one of these, and so you guys are on your way to trade it in, okay? And then also, I did want to let you guys know that you are currently, you guys are skilled, survivors, and generally, what does happen is within the skilled area, 4 skilled survivors, traveling is very common. Okay, and yeah, so
there's 4 horses, so
that's extremely helpful. I did set mine up already, but I will ask next time.
2 trucks.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I have a truck as well.
All right.
And so does.
Oh, that's right. That's okay. So if you guys would, you are coming along and you see someone who has a pickup truck, and they have chopped off the cab, and it is just a pickup truck. It has 4 wheels, and it is being hauled by these 2 ox-looking creatures, but they're completely rusted, and you could hear them coming like 300 or 400 feet away, and inside are 3 people. So you are being approached by a cart with some people that are being pulled by robot oxen. Actually, very old, rusted robot oxen that squeak a lot. And so, if you would, please establish yourselves on the board.
Look, metal cows.
Also, yeah, very nice. Ted, thank you for getting these excellent minis. I'm going to give you 10 XP for that.
That's where you want to be, Dave? Up here?
Yeah, where do you want to be?
He could be with his.
Probably in the back, following
Okay.
slowly.
All right.
Back
Just
here?
put him on the truck.
Oh, and your first use of a character voice, I'm going to give 10 XP for that.
Back here?
Would have been 20. But
Yeah, next to the horses. I walk next to Sir Gregor.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, who is that?
This is
That is the
me.
felinoid? Okay.
Yeah.
Where do you want to be?
Right on his back.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Nah.
Yeah, you can
Nah,
put him right next to you. I
how
understand
big are
that
you?
you're on his back.
8 foot.
No, I don't think them.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
that.
not-
You can ride on the truck. Though.
Oh, actually, yeah. He's gigantic seismic. Yeah. All right. There you go. Okay. So at that point, so we have the Speedster, the Funganoid, the Golem, and the Saurian Yeti. Perfect. Those are really good minis. All right. Approaching you, you finally get close enough, and you realize that it is a family of hoops. Does anybody at the table know what a hoop is?
The rabbit people.
That's exactly right. 10 XP right there. All right, so hoops are mutated rabbits. They are the size of a human being, and they have long rabbit ears that are worn like hair. Okay, and now the hoop that is on that picture, he looks kind of like mean. This looks like a family, and they don't look mean at all. They look like they're traveling. They look like travelers.
I start hopping up and down and clapping my hands together. It kind of sounds like an avalanche.
Oh my God.
Bunnies! 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 Pretty kitty, can I see the bunnies? And then I start running towards them.
I'm standing up on top of the thing. The first thing he does is licks his maw, and he's like,
All right. So at that point, immediately as you begin to run, so I will explain them. The one is a male hoop. The second is a female hoop, and behind them is a hoop about this big. It's a little child hoop, probably about 2 or 3 years old, a toddler hoop.
So how
As soon as I see the baby bunny, I totally lose my shit. I'm in like heaven.
Do they
how
look like?
tall?
Does this look like a merchant thing?
It's a great question. You don't have, all you know is it is a family of hoops, and they do absolutely have gear, but you don't know if it's to sell or if it's just what they're carrying. But unfortunately, they just don't know you, and a gigantic man running at them. Immediately, the female hoop, you hear, she stands up, right? And you guys see a shotgun come up.
Are they like
we
5
can
foot
roll
tall
for
or
it.
3 foot tall?
So hoops. So from now on, right, I'm going to talk about all kinds of creatures. If I don't tell you their size, they are humanoid.
Okay.
Right. So they're
Awesome.
just like us,
Right.
except the toddler hoop is the size of a
Right.
human toddler. Right. So yeah, and so actually, there are many different creatures. Almost all of them are humanoid size generally. There's been a big mixture of animals with humans, humans with machines. There's been a lot of fusing and merging. Okay.
So I'll stand up in my laden down lab coat / priest vestments, and give a shout. Hail and well met, travelers.
Okay, that's excellent. That is an attempt at an interaction, which is a skill. All right. Now, this game has one of the best skill sets I have ever seen. I absolutely love it because the skills are very, very powerful. And I'm going to give you guys a list of the skills, and we're going to do our first skill check.
My character happens to be very good at interaction.
Indeed. Where are the? Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay. So there are only 10 skills in this entire game. I'm just going to read them out real quick. Acrobatics, athletics, conspiracy, insight, interaction, mechanics, nature, perception, science, and stealth. If you have these actions, you can always attempt to use them to stop a combat, to accomplish something. Excellent use of a skill, and also trying to deal with a combat without people getting hurt. So I'm going to give 25 XP just for the attempt, and you are going to make your first skill check. And so I am going to set your difficulty. All right. And hold on. And this is the first time we are doing a difficulty check. And we're almost there. Okay. Yeah. And all right. Okay. And you are going to be going at. All right. So you're going to go at a target number of 14. Can you see if you can find the scale up and down for the difficulties?
Yeah, 16.
And you have a 16 as your result,
Yes.
correct? All right, so at that point, she has the shotgun, and she does not do anything. You run all the way to... She does not shoot you. You run all the... Actually, no, he does. He does, because he ran. So you run all the way there. And what is your action?
He's looking
Thank
at
you very much.
Oh, me, when I see the gun come up, I'm like, no owie stick, no owie stick.
Oh, okay, good. All right, so and at that point, it's entirely shut down. She actually puts the shotgun on her back, and then the rest of you guys can come forward. Do you guys jump out of your cart and come over and talk to them?
I dart right up and ask them if they have any caps. Obviously, I'm going to say it in quicker tone voice like, "Hello, traveler, well met. Do you have any caps for sale?"
That's great. And so he says,
And limited edition Nuka-Cola caps, perhaps.
"Are you talking about those small caps that used to go on top of what were called glass bottles?"
Indeed, those exactly.
He says, "I did see one of those 60 miles south of Key West." He says, "on the bottom of the ocean. They're quite rare."
You went swimming and diving?
Indeed, right? And he says, "But first, let me introduce my family," right?
Does anyone look hurt?
It's a great question. Their condition. Actually, let me introduce them, and I will. It's a great question. All right. So this is Brindle. And Brindle is the head of his Hoop family, and he introduces his wife Garen, and actually at that point, they do not introduce the little Hoop. Right. And he says, "We are traveling to Philadelphia," right? And at that point he says, "Of course, to go to the to the Am Tri-Portal." All right, so the Am Tri-Portals. You guys all know about the Am Tri-Portals. Everybody in Gamerica knows about the Am Tri-Portals. The Am Tri-Portals are 3 portals. One in Philadelphia. It is located on the Benjamin Franklin Bridge. One in Chicago, Illinois, and one in Corvallis, Oregon. And what these are is they are large portals. They're about 50 feet in diameter. The one blocks the entire bridge. Nobody goes across the bridge anymore. They just go to the center, and that's where the portal is. The portals are fired up once a month, and they travel 50 people from Philadelphia to Chicago. Chicago can reach from Philadelphia to Corvallis, and then Corvallis can go to Chicago. And this is extremely, and everybody knows about this, because if you need to travel long distances in a Gamerica, this is how you do it if you're not an adventurer. Adventurers do this all the time, and like going from Philadelphia to Chicago, you're probably going to kill 10 to 20 creatures, or you're going to be killed, one or the other. So for people who are not adventurers, this is how they travel. And you guys all know about these because people save up for what it costs to get into that 50 person portal. And so there are not many things that work and that are stable and that are reliable in America. This is one of the few. And these cities are massive because of it. But when I say massive, they're still like 1/3 the size that they would be today, even if that. But for Gamerica standards, which is an apocalyptic wasteland, which is swept through and has sent into it things from other worlds all the time. This is one of the stable things. So they are travelers to the Philadelphia Amtri portal, and so that's Brindle.
So,
and yeah,
I don't know if this is an intelligence thing or a wisdom thing. I'm gonna guess it's kind of more perceptive. But if they are openly saying that they're going to the portal, and we know the portals are expensive,
yeah,
they are blanket saying
Yeah,
we
they
have
know.
something of value with us.
Wait, did they say they're going to the portal? They said they're going to Philadelphia.
No, they said they're going to the portal.
Yeah, they said they're going, which is in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia Amtri portal. And so, absolutely, you know there are valuable things in that cart.
Okay.
Without a doubt, right? And so you're also like, that's really interesting, right? And so they are, they're saying so. They said so. At that point, they'll speak to you. They do talk to you about the Nuka-Cola. I'll give you 10 XP for bringing that up. The Nuka-Cola caps, they don't have any, but they did give you a location of one. And at that point, and you actually called it out. I'm going to give 5 XP for that. No obvious security for their haul. I actually have that on the... And then also, there is the ammunition. And so I'm sorry. Let me go back. Anybody have any other questions for them? For the hoop family?
Well, just
the Brindle?
visually, do any of the
Brindles.
3 people that I see have any injuries whatsoever?
That's a great question. No, they don't. They don't. They do not look like they're injured. But
So as they name each other, I'm like, Owie Bunny, Girl Bunny, Baby Bunny.
and as soon as you even point to the baby bunny, the mother, like, you kind of see her hand go toward her back, right? And actually to a different place than the shotgun, right? Now, Brindle, actually, he is wearing a spaghetti.
Oh, it's the mom that has the gun.
Right.
Okay.
She's the one that drew
Boy Bunny, then Owie Bunny, then.
Oh, right. Owie is, yeah. So Owie Bunny is the girl bunny.
She's not a pistol packing mama. She is a shotgun packing mama.
Exactly.
With the pistol as well,
also,
probably.
anybody who's watching, she's carrying something else because she started to reach for something else,
To
too.
be a pistol packing
Yeah.
mama.
And then also, one of the things you also see is that Brindle, you don't see any obvious weapons, but he's wearing a classic spaghetti western blanket that is cut at the top and then kind of folded around him, and so he's got this voluminous blanket on him, which could conceal. Then the one thing at that point, so you guys continue to talk with them for a little while. They are not injured, but you do get close enough. All of you get close enough. And actually, I want an insight check at 9. So everybody roll that up and tell me.
I can't fail.
Oh, there you go. Actually, if you roll a 1.
I get 9.
All right. Oh, yeah. Go ahead and roll and tell me if you get a natural 1.
So
That's a 20.
Yeah.
I had
You're
a
fine.
1 to that, right?
All right. Oh, natural 20. Wow.
I had 1 to that, right?
Yes.
Got an
Yeah.
8.
I got an 8 as well.
Wow. Okay.
Not on the
So
die. I don't know
the
what's
highest
added.
is Ted. Ted, you hear actually once you get close enough and you see the little hoop, he is saying something over and over again. He is saying "Popo Ba," and there are tears coming out of his eyes. Right? You're the only one that hears it clearly, and you're the only one that really sees that he's very upset. So the small little hoop is upset, and he keeps saying "Popo Ba."
So if I had any gauge, is he an infant, a toddler?
An infant or he is a toddler. He's a toddler. He's about 2 or 3.
So I'll
I don't know. I don't
I'll
trust
turn
myself.
to her and say what's wrong with your child.
She says, and she says, there's nothing wrong with our child. She says, Brindle, why don't we ask them if they wish to trade? The moment you even mentioned her child, she is not having it. However, actually, I'm going to honor your 20, right? You did roll a 20. They are carrying Omega Tech. And actually, you see just one small, the way they have it packed, you see just one edge of a gray canister, which is the ammunition for an H-11 blaster rifle. So you know they have Omega Tech in the back, right? And
I'm going to tell her, I'm a cleric. I'm a healer. If there is something wrong with your child, I have the ability to help.
And so Brindle immediately says, "We should trade now. We must be on the road. Like, it's very clear they don't want anybody even mentioning that they have a small child with them. For they're very, very hypersensitive about that." And Brindle says, "We do have ammunition if you for different types of weapons. If you have, do you wish to do any trades?" And actually, at that point, he offers
How about bobbleheads?
bobbleheads. That's good. That's good. He says, "Bobbleheads. Oh, that is an excellent question."
I immediately go back to my truck and grab my favorite rock.
Oh, nice.
These are the two things my character collects: bottle caps and bobbleheads.
They do not have bobbleheads.
Oh.
Yeah.
While this is going to happen, I strongly suspect that there's something wrong with the child. I don't need to examine him.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna.
It doesn't look like he's injured. It looks like he's upset.
I don't know what's going to help and what's not, but I can do something without actually having to do anything. So I'm just going to start grading my forearm across, a sharpened piece on my belt, and just allow my spores to kind of spread out.
Now they're healing spores?
Yes.
Okay.
Anyone within 15 feet of me will just start healing at a rate of 1 point per round.
That's excellent. Now, none of them are injured. The child is upset, but that was worth an attempt. I will give 5 XP for the attempt. That's good. I'm going to give 5 XP for your excellent positioning. And at that point, does anybody... So at this point, they definitely want to move along. They offer for trade ammunition, local lore, and Omega Tech. Does anybody wish to trade with them?
I have a radio cell phone.
Now, is that from your junk list?
That's from my starting equipment.
Oh, right, okay. So you put forward the radio cell phone?
Yeah, I don't really have a need for it unless one of you guys can do something with it.
So they thank you very much, and they said, all the hoops that we wish to speak to, there really aren't any of those in our village, but it is a good offer. Do you have Omega Tech? Because we will trade lore of this local area for that Omega Tech. Brindle says this.
Well, would we trade out the one that we have readied?
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear
All right.
that
Does
one.
anybody want to offer them their Omega Tech for local lore?
You mean like that?
I
You mean
will.
like that one I just got?
I will offer them Omega Tech if I can play with the baby.
Oh, man. All right. Okay. So at that point, you say that in your character's right. The mother gets like furious, right? Like really, really upset, and Brittle's like, "We must be on our way. Thank you very much." And then at that point, they begin to immediately try to move along, right?
But they don't have any security. So how are they going to be able to make it to the Philadelphia in time?
That's a great question.
That's in character, dude.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So they do move along. Any other actions with with Brindle's crew, with Brindle's family? No.
Is there anything
we
on
wanna-
the edge of the wagon? Like,
Do you want to try to steal something?
well, I don't know.
You can absolutely try to steal something.
Do we want to?
In fact, it wouldn't
with
even be
them?
that hard.
Yeah, we might be able
because
to-
the wife is really super sensitive about anybody going near or even talking about the baby.
I don't think our characters
and
had any
Brindle's trying to calm her
objective.
down. It would be a
Did we?
pretty
we're
easy
trying to
roll
go
if
to
you
New
want to
York
try
for
it.
the
All right. Okay. Now, yeah,
we,
that's a
like-
great point. All right.
Could
so,
we go with them for like extra protection, even if we're like trailing behind several feet? Because like
Hold on. Let me resolve his, and then I'll answer that question. All right. You only need to roll a 7 and that will be. You have 2 options. You can use Dex, which would just be your Dex rating, or you can use Stealth if you have it. That's it.
So So I have a 12 plus 9 is 21.
Oh, you rolled a 12? Yeah. Oh, yeah, easily. And here is your new Omega Tech, which is immediately readied. It is Ishtar Omega Tech, Eternal Light. This fist-sized crystal globe glows like a star, and it is light that can be, it's like a permanent light. Like it can be turned on and off. Eternal Light continually produces light in a 10 square radius, and standard action close burst 5. Each enemy in burst, level 6+ will, target is blinded. So it can be used, so it's pretty powerful. It can be used, so one, it can be used as a permanent light source, never runs out. And then two, it can be used to blind people. So, and I will tell you right now, so you guys need to understand, Omega Tech, you guys are going to see a lot of it. Most people don't see a lot of it. And these guys have saved their whole life to get from the Philadelphia tri-portal. And once you've seen that, you have a good chance of knowing that they probably have 3 pieces of Omega Tech. And each one of those pieces of Omega Tech is their ride. If not, far more. Right? Okay. All right. So you wanted to see if you could go along with them.
Yeah, I wanted to see
Red
if
and
they-
The
I
only
wanted
thing
to-
with that is, do you have insight?
No.
Well, I do.
All right. Yeah. Because so you begin to see him just kind of like subconsciously walk behind, and you realize they really do want to be away from you. They're really freaked out of your interest in their child, and they don't want to be around you. And it's not Brindle or the child. The more you looked at the child, it seemed like you got this. It seemed like the child didn't really care about anything that was happening there. They were upset about something that probably happened earlier. Something upset the child, and it did not appear to be anything that happened in this interaction. So you just know that like this is not a good idea. They don't want to. They are leaving you as quickly as possible. Do you want to try to tell them that, or what do you want to do?
I think the big snowman is making them nervous. We probably shouldn't pursue this quite so yet.
10 XP. I really like the voice. It's great. Okay. Now, are you going to continue and try to go with them, or stop?
I'll just.
Okay. All right. Now, at this point, so, hey, Teddy. Good to see you, buddy. All right. So at that point, that you guys leave Brindle, and actually they turn off this way, but you guys all know you're essentially heading to in the same direction, right? And so they literally took off, and they're gonna go. You know they're gonna go sideways, maybe half a mile or a mile. They're probably gonna be going in the same direction because where are you guys headed? Anybody remember?
New York.
That's right. So Baltimore, Philadelphia, New York. All right. But they're jetting. They're out. Right. Okay. And so that is our first encounter. For no combat, I'm going to give 100 XP across the board. Well handled. Well handled. And really, really well handled. All right. So and that's good. It gave everybody a really good idea. Mike, is that one of your hero kit, whiz kit?
That is a Quicksilver from the all new
That's
X-Men
awesome.
set.
That's a really good piece for your dude. All right.
Too bad I don't get set up after images.
Yeah.
Yet.
Hey, Gabrielle. All right. So at that point, yeah. Okay. All right, we're good. All right. So at that point, you guys continue on, right? And Mark, if you would, can you pull that? Actually, pull the map out from underneath there. That'd be really helpful. Nice. That's good. Yeah.
Literally underneath that. I'm like,
Yeah, he's got it. Yeah. And then if you would just sweep the whole Brindle family to me. Thank you. Brindle family swept. Thank you very much. All right. You guys are heading along the way. And it is it's about, so that was at about 6 o'clock. It comes to about 9 p.m. and you guys are adventurers, so you usually you travel a bit extra during the day and set camp in the dark usually, because you're all experienced, right? And also you're a collection of adventurers, and so you feel some safety, within to do that. You guys are at a point where you can set camp, or if you want to press on, you can travel through the night and then try to you could try to get in a few extra hours if you wanted to get to New York faster. What did you want to do?
I do whatever everybody else does.
I want to go forward.
All right. So
How are the horses?
Would that be a nature check?
They're
or what?
alive.
wait, what was your question?
Would
Well,
that be a nature
I-
check
I-
to see how the horses are?
Oh, how are the
I
horses?
know. I know. Red is
We'll get to
quite
that.
perceptive in the ways of animals. So.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. And so he sees you go over toward the horses and comes along, and I will let you check. The horses are fine. You guys know how to keep care of them. There's no real issues with them at all. So they're good. So for setting down the evening, I'll give you 5 for checking and 10 for the idea. And then
He also said
oh
checking the horses.
oh
10.
checking the horses. All right, I'll give you 10 as well, or 5 as well. Excuse me. 10 because I don't know who came first. All right. Did you have anything you wanted to do before at camp set time? No.
No,
Okay.
I mean,
Did you guys wish to set camp or move on?
If the
it
horses
depends
are
on the
good,
horses.
Oh, the horses are fine. Oh, yeah, that's why you guys were asking. The horses are fine. They could definitely go further.
then I would want to continue.
All right, that is anybody opposed to that? Going another 3 hours of travel till midnight and then sleeping probably 7 or 6 hours instead of a full 8? Which will not
I'm
impact
riding,
you.
so for me, it's not.
Yeah, right. All right, now actually, I want to give 15 points across the board because that was a character decision and not a game decision. By game mechanics, there's really no reason you guys have to be there earlier, but you're playing your characters, and I really appreciate that. All right.
We're just sitting in the back playing foosball the entire time.
Yeah.
Well, not the entire time. And before and after meals, I have to read from the sacred texts.
That's right.
I got sleep.
So you guys continue forward, and at that point you're coming along, and a brief wind blows. Now, usually when you're traveling, and this is the case now, you're traveling right now on kind of a dirt path. There's grass on the sides of you, but the grass is light blue because it's all been mutated. There's a light breeze that's coming across, and it is November, so it's a little bit chilly, but it's not super cold. And you guys are coming along, and everybody roll insight, if they would, at a target number 13, which is a moderate DC.
17.
Yeah. In the 20s.
So what do I add to that?
Your level plus your wisdom modifier.
Okay, so 17.
Your level plus wisdom. Yeah, I don't make it.
Okay.
14.
You made it.
17.
Made it.
5.
Did not make it.
22.
Okay. 22. Nice.
I got a 19 on the die.
So we've been traveling for a little while.
Yes.
So I wanna move up to next to Gary.
Okay. All right. Excellent. All right. So here's what happens. It is a rift sweep. All of you guys have seen rift sweeps before. Some of you have gone through a rift sweep. Rift sweeps are what happen in Gamma World because of the destruction of the Hadron Collider. So what happens with a rift sweep is the reality you're in suddenly shifts, right? And an encroaching reality begins to occur, okay? Now, Ted's roll was so high that you immediately know there's a rift sweep, and that allows you to react to it. So one of the things that happens is rift sweeps actually can be seen. They're essentially like a large swath of, like, almost like a storm front, right? But on the ground, and it covers the entire, your entire vision usually. And they can be as small as 50 feet, and they can be up to like 5 miles wide. So rift sweep is when another world is literally drifting toward you in your reality. So you guys are seeing a rift sweep. Okay.
So as I see it, I yell roll initiative.
All right.
Why you yell that? I go, Gary, look in your acre books, and tell me why they would not let me play with the baby.
my sacred books.
Acre books, yeah.
That's awesome. Excellent interaction. 5 XP, both of you guys there. All right, so here's what you see. You guys are in a post-apocalyptic America. When you look over to your right, you see the rift sweep in, right? It's about 100 feet away when you first see it. It is a brilliant, beautiful, sunny day, right? But you're looking at a war. And there are horses, you see men on horses, And those men on horses are carrying flags with this on the flag. Does anybody at the table know what that flag is for? No problem. All right.
Horse that's moving.
Yes, exactly. So there are horse riders. This is the flag, right? There are about between 5 and 15 humans. It's hard to tell. All of them on horseback. And they are fighting these creatures, like essentially a whole swarm of creatures that are running toward them, right? And you see that the riders are turning back and they're firing arrows at the people who are coming in, right? And you see one guy jump off of his horse and stab this small green skin, actually it's a black-skinned creature, a hairless black-skinned creature with like red eyes, and it has claws and fangs. It's only about this high, and it's covered in tattered black cloth, and it seems to have this hooked dagger, right? And he jumps off, cuts the thing in half, right? His horse circles around him. He grabs the saddle, like swings back up, right? And then the horse brings him along, and he like cuts down another creature, one of these other creatures. But you also see larger of these dark-skinned, almost monstrous type humanoid creatures, and you see these swarms of bats that seem to be fighting in conjunction with them, and they swarm in. Now,
I bellow, "No hurt horses!" and then just start running that way.
oh, there we go. Good. Okay, I'm going to explain something to you guys about rift sweeps. So there are different reactions to rift sweeps that you as player characters can have. You're doing a great job playing your character. I'll give 5 XP there. Basically, when rift sweeps come, you can run away from them, right? So you can usually, often, because they're so large, you can outrun them, right? You can go along them and witness them and not get interaction. That's dangerous because if they sweep, almost like a wind, you can get caught, right? And there's a permeable, it's almost like a bubble, right? And once anything pierces that bubble, whether it's a person or usually it's anything organic that pierces that bubble, it means that those two worlds are then fully merged, right? So if nothing pierces the bubble, often it's just something that's witnessed, and it'll pass, and then our reality will remain the same. If there's something pierces it, things can go between, right?
Oops.
And also, the other thing that you realize is you have seen people go in. Now, there's all kinds of things you can do with rift sweeps. Some people will go into rift sweeps, grab things, and come back into America. Other people will go into a rift sweep, try to grab something, and get stuck. And then the rift sweep drops, just like a storm, or a wind, and that's it. They're in that other realm permanently. If that happens to your character, he will have other adventures there, but since we don't have time to tell those adventures, you're going to be going to your backup character, so just be aware of that. A lot of time, but since you got a 22, you actually know that this is fairly stable, okay? And so that you do have some time. He is about to puncture the rift sweep wall, and then the two of you also are aware that you made the check as well, right? So you saw the rift sweep coming. One of the things that you can see is that the riders are in trouble. Probably a third to half of them are going to die within the next 10 to 30 seconds, and without aid, and maybe even all of them if they're not aided. I don't have anything for you yet, but I still kind of owe you something for making that roll. Okay, so at that point,
Well, with
he's running.
With Golem heading in, I will jump down and
Right.
plod off after him.
All right.
Awesome. Okay. So,
Let's set it up.
how fast do you move?
I'm the slowest
I'll get
of
there
all of
before
you.
he does.
All right. Because if I can, I'm going to try and trip him so he doesn't go into it. I don't want
I have a move of 5.
Gotcha. Okay.
Ditto.
So you're gonna try to stop him out, and
What do you have a -2?
Yeah. Oh, you're going to
Well,
try
you
to
wear
stop
heavy armor,
him?
you get a minus.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna have better luck trying to persuade him.
Yeah, perfect.
Do you have a minus from a race, from your origin?
Do you have any interaction?
And you're wearing heavy armor?
I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't suffer
Do
any
you have any
effects from
positive
heavy armor.
charisma? Or is that
Okay.
negative?
Yes. I got +2 to charisma. All right.
Okay. So I'm going to set them down. Now, what I'm about to say, your characters know the names. Your players know these names. Your characters will know the description I say. So the first person that you see, all right, so this line right there, like from that card, right over from Mark to Mike, that's the rift sweep, okay? You see that is Druzog, the Beast Caller. All right, and he has green skin. He's wearing a black cape, and he has a large wooden stick with a skull on top. And then and also he clearly looks like the elite, right? He looks like he is leading this group, and he also looks like a caster, right? Near him is Groblog, which is another green skin goblinoid creature, and he's carrying what looks like a short sword, and he has a high hat, right? But he's moving very, very quickly. And he is running, and he slides under horses, like cuts one horse's belly, and the rider has to jump off. He looks very, very fast.
Does anyone over there have a shield?
No, they're all riders, so they're not carrying any shields. And then, in addition to that, are So I'm going to put these right here. This right here, there's two of these creatures. There are these large wolf-like creatures with claws. And they seem to be slathering, and they're like biting at the horses, and each of them have like 3 of these goblinoid creatures on them. And then there are a whole number of, I'll start to place them out. Now, the number that you see, that's just initial, and you can see that there's at least double the number I show you, 50 to 100 feet back, that are swarming in to, and you do not see, so these are all essentially the aggressors, right? That's the best way to put it. And so all the red, reds.
The yellows are the riders?
I'm sorry, yeah, you know what? You're absolutely right. Let's keep all the aggressors in the red, because we're going to be using the yellows in a minute. And yes, and the red coins are the riders on those big wolf-like creatures.
No, I meant the riders with the green flags.
No, I haven't even put them up yet. These are all the people who are aggressing them currently. All right, and actually I'm going to put another of the wolf creatures there, and one more of the wolf creatures. Okay, and then you guys see the riders. These are all riders on horseback, human. They're purely human, and you guys are shocked for a minute, like those are pure humans, all right? Because pure humans are extremely rare.
I came from a world where they were there.
All right.
Unfortunately, so did I. I'm more tempted to help the aggressors.
The books talk about humans, so they're there.
So all of the red, so you see the blue and the black are the leaders of the reds, and then all the reds are attackers. If they're not coins, they're not riders. They're on foot. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I can understand how you say that the
the
yellows are going to get overrun.
Exactly. All right. So they are. So there's a lot going on there. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. And actually, this is one more, and that is this right here is very large. It stands about between 15 and 20 feet tall. It has this huge mace, right? It has white skin, and it looks far more monstrous than any of the other creatures. So the other creatures are humanoid in that they have legs and arms, and so that's all of that. And then the riders are there. And with that, let us begin. All right, so
Initiative?
Yes, roll initiative. Correct. We'll do the same.
Now, is this
21.
is this any different in this edition?
For initiative,
Yeah.
Add your dex and your
yeah,
and your level.
correct. Dex and level.
I have a 9.
My initiative says 5 plus origin.
Can I get a witness?
I don't have
Ten.
to look
Yeah.
it up.
What'd you roll?
Call
20?
it out. Call it out.
Did you roll
I have-
nat 20?
No, I have
Yes,
a 19.
it's a plus 5 from your origin.
All right. Okay.
Oh, what's it?
I got a 10.
All right.
What is your radioactive felinoid, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's this one.
All right.
I go next. One.
Well, you still might go before me.
Forget. Yeah, well, he's indifferent. That's what it is.
You're conflicted over who to help.
Yeah.
So I go to 21.
All right. So you go to 21, correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. You go on to 21. You beat me. 21. 19 is going after that. Does anybody beat a 19?
I only rolled a 17.
All right. So actually, we're going to go it down. You have first action. What are you going to do?
I am going to run through and say, friends, bring the horses this way. Bring them this way.
Just +5.
You are the first person to breach a rift sweep in this game.
Nothing
You're going to get 50 XP for that. And if you would, Dave, move the golem all the way up to, yeah. Actually, I'm sorry, keep him where he was and move him. Do you want to run or do you want to walk?
I'll run.
So you're going to move 60, so move him
It's
60.
just +5.
+5. Okay.
50.
So we'll go with a 6.
All right, and then, okay.
So that black one is the goblin?
Yes.
He was slashing at horses?
No, he actually, he looks to be a caster. The blue one was the one who was slashing horses.
All right, well, I'll put myself right in front of that black one. I would have angled that one.
Bless you.
All right.
You are a meanie.
I will allow you attack.
I rumble
so you're
at
right
it.
there. You can attack him. What are you attacking with?
So I reach behind me and I have a parking meter strapped to the back of my armor, the smart card, and I
awesome.
pull that out and I swing it at his head. That's an 18 on the die.
Wow. Okay. So actually, at that point, 18 on a die. Oh, and let me see what I got here.
Are you doing a weapon attack?
I am doing a weapon attack.
Knock his head off.
That is a hit. All right, and yeah, that is a hit. Go right ahead.
All right, so that is going to be 10 points of damage.
All right.
So I yell for them to get away from the horses.
All right. All right. So you 10 points of damage on him.
Mm-hmm.
You hammer him, right? Actually, you actually come in, you hit him, and there's a jingle of change. It's like coins, like hit with from the.
I do always pick up those silver coins.
Ah, yes. Okay. All right. So so at that point, you hit. And you hit him, and he actually jumps back, and you only, kind of, it grazes across his arm, takes a big gouge out of it, and you can see he's bleeding. But you also see he's fine, like you haven't really taken him down. And you're a little stunned, because you haven't seen a creature this small be that nimble and quick. All right, and so at that point, it's him. All right, and
What are
he...
those 2 dice you just put out there?
That's
Health
his life.
markers.
Oh.
That's his life, his remaining life. Right? Now there's always a conversion that I know, but you guys don't. All right, so each point there is a specific point value that I'm aware of. All right. Oh yeah. And so let me see his blast radius. Yeah. So he's not gonna. Oh, it would no. So he immediately actually opens his mouth and blasts flame out. Right. But as he does it, you kind of see him twist his fingers. And you see kind of a glowing light from his fingers, and then his mouth glows for just a moment, and then he blasts out this flaming blast at you, fire breath from his mouth. And here is the damage for that fire breath.
Does he get a reflex save or something?
Yes, he does. It is his wisdom. No, sorry. This is his attack. Okay, I got it. Right. No, you're absolutely right. So, yes, you need to.
No, I have a defense. You
I
make the
rolled to hit
attacks.
you. Yeah, too much cipher. All right. So your AC. So I need to know your AC.
Which defense are you attacking?
I am attacking your reflex.
It's an 11.
Okay. I just need to roll an 11.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. He easily makes that. All right. Okay. So at that point, yeah, and So yeah, so that and he hits, and then he is going to do 2d10 plus 4 damage. He hits you for 11.
Okay.
What is your life at?
I am at 15.
What?
Or no, I mean 17. He did
All right.
11.
Which means you are at 28. When you are bloodied, when you reach half, it triggers things, so be aware of that. Okay. Also, when you're bloodied, say, "I am bloodied." Okay.
Okay.
Tell me. All right. Okay. So at that point, so he hits you, and then and then we're going from there. Okay. And actually, my guys beat you. All right. So next, so that was my guys on a 19, 18, 17, 16. You're next. What do you got? 17 as well?
I got a 17.
A 10. I had rolled a 10.
You're good. Go ahead. Make sure you know so that, yeah, go right ahead.
So each of these is 1 square, right?
Yes.
It's 5 feet. Yep. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. For speed, you can just count them as 1 square.
Well, I can only get to there, and
Now, if you run, you can be there, but they'll, might not help you.
Yeah, arrange
Do you have a ranged weapon? That's a great question.
Yeah, I have my 10mm pistol.
Yeah.
So I'll move to here, shoot at him, activating quick attack.
All right.
So before I attack, I move 2 more, then I shoot, and then move 2 back. So I'm assuming this is within its ranging
Oh, yeah, easily. Yeah.
increment.
Yep. Yep.
Is he getting cover?
What? Say again?
Is my target getting cover?
Doesn't look like it.
No, your target is not getting cover. No.
Okay.
And your target number is 17.
Nat 20.
Okay.
It was so close.
All right, natural 20. Oh, yeah.
That's
all right. Oh, yeah. So natural 20, which means you critical. Which
Now,
means
how does that work in this game?
criticals?
We haven't gotten critical powers yet.
No, I know, but how do
Right,
critical
he just critical. Right.
damage work?
Exactly,
Is
yeah.
it double everything? Is it double the dice rolled?
I
Check
think
it
it's
now.
just double the dice roll.
Yeah, and if you don't have critical powers, that is correct. So everything gets doubled, except the bonus doesn't. So all the dice you roll them twice.
And the bonus from quick attack damage? That would not get doubled?
Is it dice or is it a plus?
It's plus.
It's a plus. It's just once.
okay.
Okay.
3, 4 plus 9, 9 plus 9 plus 17 is 22.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 23.
26.
That's your total.
No, 9 plus 14 is 23.
What's your total?
23 damage incoming.
Okay, got it. All right. Okay. And actually, he staggers at that point. So I want to mark that. Yeah. All right. Okay. And then
So
that
those
was on
3
your
things
turn.
you put there, they're all markers on him. They're not extra guys.
Yeah.
No, they are markers on him. Yeah, So any dice you see, those are not additional dudes. Yeah.
I'm just
All right.
making sure.
Yeah, I hear you. Okay. So at that point, my guy goes. So his henchman moves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and actually at that point, since he's not in close enough range to hit you, he does throw. Actually, he throws 2 daggers at you. All right, which. All right. Oh, yeah. Let's do it. All right. Wow. Okay. All right. So he hits you. Actually, so he is going to attempt to strike you. And do you know your AC?
Yeah,
What? Go ahead.
18.
All right. Oh, natural 1. Actually, you So both of the daggers, you just snatched. So what do you have in your hands currently?
10 millimeter pistol and power fist.
All right. You so actually he critical ones. You snatch both of those daggers. You put what you have. You snatch both of those daggers out of your hand, out of the air, grabbing them. You now are wielding them, and as you bring it up, you see just a single drop come off them, and you realize they're poisoned.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay. And then that was on 17, 16, 15, 14, 12, 11, 10.
10.
Got it. What do you got?
I'm gonna do fancy stuff. Does diagonal count as one?
Yeah, you can go. Yeah, absolutely.
Just like in Hero Class.
Yep.
Yeah, that should be enough. I'm gonna. So, can I move my max distance and then do an ability thing that makes me move even more?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then. Yeah, that works. I'm gonna use my Tyrannosaur charge.
Okay.
So, like, I was in the wagon, so I would hop the side of it, and then as I'm running, I'm gonna give like a real fierce roar type of deal as I'm running. And because I moved at least 2 squares, if I hits, he gets pushed back, I think.
Okay.
So he's up here.
All right. You are going at a DC 15. Good luck.
Did you want an actual audio for that?
That's a 2. That's not good.
What is
You
your?
don't have a plus 13 to hit?
No.
What's your result?
5. Wait. So I rolled a 2 on the die.
So you're gonna miss.
Yeah, probably.
Oh yeah. What do you know? What your attack is?
So it's
It's your Saurian charge, right? What book?
Tyrannosaur charge. It's the 3rd one. The
third book.
Yeah.
There's no way. If you don't have it on your sheet, I'm going to assume that's a fail.
I think it's a 5 plus 1
Okay.
plus it's on there, so it won't hit.
Okay. Yeah. So that's a miss. All right. And at that point,
I have a 9.
Strength plus level AC. Yeah.
So I hop down from the wagon and issue my standard battle cry, which is Thaco.
that's great.
You
5
copy that
SP
down?
when you're ready.
So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2,
Okay.
3. So I'm not in range to be able to do anything, but I am in range of my allies so that they can begin healing.
I don't think any of them. Oh yeah, they have.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. Okay.
But my
so
healing
you
doesn't
kick off.
my healing doesn't kick off until the start of the round, and no one was within.
Oh well,
3.
now that the healer's popped in, could I flash attack and say poison?
Yes, you can always speak for free. All right, and then my guys. So it's so next are the riders. All right, so the riders are going to be able to move. Hold on. Okay. All right. So the riders are going to be able to move 10. Oh yeah, this is going to get ugly. All right. 2, 10, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. All right. And then these guys are going to do the same. Move right up. And then 5, 10,
He really doesn't like you being the giant dude.
35, 40. Yep. And
All depends what defense they attack.
What do you mean with defense?
My 4 and
45, 50. All right. And then, yeah, so all of them are, yeah. And then that's,
You can have whatever.
and
weapon
that
you
is
want.
it. Okay. And so the two, the
So it's like, oh, I want something to function.
so wolf beasts with 3 riders each, with 3 of the riders each coming in. So
Yeah,
it's going to be bite, stab, 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 stab. All right. All right. Oh, and yeah, we'll leave it at that.
I'm dead.
All right. So
I'm there too. I don't know what you're worried about.
Yeah, but I'm in front of the wall.
All right. Yeah.
Perfect.
Sorry.
They're creating a target-rich environment for me.
What about these
well,
yellow
yeah.
dudes? Can they attack too?
All right. So the wolf creature, the first one bites you, and what is the AC he is shooting at?
For who?
For you.
For me, AC is a 19.
All right. Okay.
Nice.
And he's got a +4. He needs a 15. He misses. And then the 3 goblinoid creatures on his back all attack as well. They have +2s, and they need 17s. That is a hit. That is a miss. And that is a miss. So they do 1d6 +2 with the dagger. All right, and it's going to be 6 points of damage. Are you? You're bloodied now, right?
I am.
Or do you have anything that triggers with bloodied?
Not that I know of.
Okay, all right. And so you can use your. There are things that you can do for healing when you're bloodied. You may want to look those up. And so at that point, yeah. Oh, and then the exact same attack is coming from the other side. All right. So the first one, he needs a 15. This is the wolf. The wolf misses, and then there's 3 going at 17s. 17, miss, and miss. All right. So one more, and you take 5 more damage as another goblin slashes at you with his dagger. All right, you are in the same. You're in the same situation.
Yep.
What are they going for at your AC?
16.
16. The wolf needs 12, and then the goblinoids need 10. Okay,
So, real quick for everybody.
that is a hit from the wolf.
You can heal yourself once per encounter using a second wind. Doing so requires a minor action. You regain hit points equal to your bloodied value, 1/2 your maximum hit points. You also gain +2 bonus to all defenses until the start of your next turn. If you're unable to take actions, another character can use a standard action to trigger your second wind.
And you're relying on encouragement, mutations, all kinds of things for the second winds. The wolf has hit you, and that is a 1d8 plus 4. That is an 11. Are you bloodied?
No.
Okay. And then you have 3 attacks, and these guys all need. Wait, what is your? Yeah.
You said they were +2s.
Right. So what is your AC?
16.
I went the other way. I need a 14 on these 3 14s. Miss. That is a 1, right? So that is a natural 1. The one attacker, the second one, he actually gets really excited, and he stabs the guy in front of him. Right? And the other guy goes, "Ah!"
Who was the guy that hit
And so
me
the guy
for the
who
11?
who hit the 1, he steals the other guy's attack, and that's it. Go ahead.
Who was the one that hit me for the 11 damage? Who was that?
That was the wolf type creature.
Okay.
Yeah.
That would trigger, I think, my healing, my Yeti Rage move.
Ah, nice.
So that's when an enemy damages you with an attack, and then the effect is you regain HP equal to 3 plus your level until the end of your next turn. You gain a +2 power bonus to attack rolls against the triggering enemy.
Nice. Very nice. Okay.
I hate you
Very
so
good.
much.
So go ahead and mark those down. And you have survived the attacks against you. And I believe that was on 10, 9, 8.
He was 10, I was 9.
9.
8.
Right, and that was me. 8. And you're last, right?
Yeah.
You're the only person who has a move. What do you got?
Well, I see my boy about to get hammered, so I'm gonna jump down. I think I can move 7, so I jump down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's not nearly enough.
Do you have a ranged weapon?
Yeah. I have a hand pistol.
Yeah, you can absolutely shoot at any of the front. Any of the
you can easily hit
wolves.
them,
You
hit
can shoot
them.
at him. The main.
So,
yeah.
I'll
real
shoot this
quick,
wolf.
so everybody understands, ammo in this game, the way it works,
Yeah, it's all
if you shoot once, you never run out of ammo.
exactly.
If you shoot more than once, it's called going hog wild, and at the end of the fight, you don't run out of ammo. You have plenty for the fight, but as soon as the fight's done, your ammo is done.
Exactly. Thank you for explaining that. 15 points for the second wind, and 15 points for explaining that. Thank you very much. Very, very helpful. Okay, And that is and then you're going to shoot. So you are going at those
So
guys.
how many times can I
Yeah.
shoot? Twice?
That's a great question. You can only shoot once per turn, unless you have something that gives you a power to do it more than once. But so what he's saying is shoot, right?
Yeah.
On this one. If you want to shoot again on next turn, you can do it. You could shoot once every single round, but you're out of ammo at the end of the combat.
Okay.
And that wouldn't be useful in the next combat.
All right. So, I critted.
Okay?
I'm shooting at the wolf.
Yeah. So you crit on the wolf. You're going to get double your damage. And
It's
yeah,
D8.
go right ahead.
Somebody check that to make sure because I failed to write it down.
And actually, does anybody have the chart
What
for
are you
the?
using?
That's cool.
One-handed gun?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead and roll for the
Yep.
D8s.
Range 10 squares plus 4 accuracy.
Okay. All right. And it is a D8, right?
Yeah. Do I
Fantastic.
get bonuses to hit?
Your
dex.
intelligence or your
Yeah.
dex?
Yeah.
I mean
Whichever's
to the
better.
damage, so I
No.
get any additions to the damage.
Your
So
level
it's-
and dex.
Okay.
4 damage as well. Yeah.
Okay, so it's 13, 5, 18 damage.
18 damage. Nice. Okay. So that is going to be you hit him bad. In fact, so bad that 2 of his riders fall off and they're scrabbling on the ground and they're prone. They're going to lose their next action, so he only has 1 rider on him next turn. Okay. And at that point,
Top of the order.
that is that is not the end of the round. My guys need to go. Yeah. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Wait. I was at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. So none of these guys. So all the rest of these guys, they don't have ranged weapons. They're all carrying daggers. They all push forward. Okay. None of them are close enough to engage with any of you, but they all push forward. Okay. Now the one thing. Yeah. Thank you very much. Now at this point, you guys have seen what's coming in. You felt you felt their bite. They felt yours. Do any of you have any intentions but running?
I think all of you should be intent on running.
Yeah.
I got a 5 intelligence.
Ooh, wow. That's ugly.
I'm like a toddler about to have a temper tantrum.
Are the riders doing anything?
Oh, that's
are
a
they
great.
getting
Yeah,
like
that's
that?
it. You're absolutely right. The riders do something. Thank you very much.
Even babies
All
run
right.
when they
So
get
yes, absolutely. So there are 2,
Special
4,
dollars.
I'm thinking about
2,
using this
4,
myself.
2, 4, 6, 7 riders.
My
And-
Mega Tech is about healing, so.
Everything over 10, they'll be able to take out 1 goblinoid. Yeah, because you're absolutely.
Are they fleeing from the combat too? Or are they trying to get away?
They actually they are engaged. They're shocked because they don't understand what the rift sweep is, but they see your world now, right?
I had called for them to run.
The goblins don't seem to be for them to run into your world, which is excellent. Okay, all right. So everything over 10, they're going to take out one of these guys. So they take out him. They take out him. They take out. Oh yeah. Okay. And then. And then, yep, 2 more. So absolutely, they have really, pulled the. They actually. So you watch them kill, like 6 of those goblinoid creatures with arrows, right, and attacks and sword swipes, but there are triple the numbers, 50 feet behind them. There, in one more round. In fact. And you don't see any end to the goblinoids on the other side. There are just tons of them. And you do see additional flags, green flags with this flag. You do see additional flags, but they're hundreds of feet behind. So,
Behind the goblins?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
all right. So
you initially said that the other group was like 100 feet away. So, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought there would be time to have this combat and flee before those reinforcements would come. Is that no longer accurate? Are they moving faster than...
So you'll have one more round with these guys, with just who's on the board, and then the round after that, I'll repopulate with new enemies, and it'll be an equal number or a higher number.
Is there an insight or perception check to see if the rift is going to close sooner or?
Yes, it's a great point. I'm going to give it him. You call out, "When's the rift closing?" And he says it's still stable because you guys have been in it before, and it's very much like wind. You can feel when it's getting like there's almost like a tremor when it starts to get weak. It is stable, right? And at that point, so I did ask the question. You are intending to stay. Is that correct?
I am.
All right. Everyone else.
As long as the horses are still in danger,
Yeah.
I will stay to defend them.
Oh, and then at that point, so at the end of the round, it starts, and the riders do, in mass, turn their horses and begin go, "Thank you, allies," and they begin to ride out. Is that enough to get you to turn?
I'm probably
absolutely,
gonna
yeah.
attack and then leave. But
Yeah. So at that point, the only question. So you guys are running, okay? At this point, and you guys are aware of what the rift sweep is. You know it will drop. You also know where the edge is, which none of the other creatures do. So you guys all begin to run, okay? Each one of you, if you make an athletics roll of 17, you get an attack as you run. Otherwise, you don't, and each of you are going to take 2 attacks.
I made it.
Down, which is rad.
About acrobatics.
Barely.
Oh, do me a favor. Look up what happens on a 1. Because I don't remember. Thank you.
Athletics of what?
17.
17.
Yeah.
I started in 18.
Yeah. Nope.
So I'm going to second wind.
Right.
How many hit points do we get at the start of the turn? From you?
1.
One.
If you're
hit
within
point.
3 of me, you get
Yeah.
1 hit point.
Yeah, and
So
you
I
guys
get-
all, yeah.
So I get 15 back.
What do
Nice.
I add to my strength mod?
Strength, mod, and level.
So
Yeah.
I'm down 7.
Unless you're actually proficient in athletics.
So what's your strength?
I have 20, so it'd be a +5.
Right.
6.
And then
So-
your level is 1.
That's +6.
Wait.
5
Wait,
from your strength,
Yeah,
1 from your level.
Your total is +6.
that's only.
You need an 11.
Yeah, so go ahead.
I rolled a 9.
So you, and what
I
did
failed
I say
by
the
2.
DC?
You
What,
said 17.
you failed. You do not get one. Go ahead.
So I start screaming, brick bat, brick bat, brick bat, as I slam my club, my meter down on the ground. And, okay, so that's a 24. Everyone in 1.
Oh, wow.
So it's a burst ability.
A burst ability, which, what does it do? It actually rocks the ground to knock them over?
It standard action, burst 1. Each enemy in burst I can see. Strength plus, so that's that. Basically, 1 weapon damage plus strength monitor, physical damage, and they're knocked prone.
The only thing, though, is doesn't using your second wind take an action?
Minor, right?
Minor action.
Minor. You're good. That's fine. Okay, well done. In fact, that knocks all riders off, and so the wolves are still coming, but all the riders drop off the wolves.
Yeah, but the bulls will be prone.
And even the wolves get knocked prone. That's
Yes.
great. In fact, what that does is it reduces. Everybody was going to take 1 attack as you're running. You're now taking. Everyone was going to take 2. You're now taking 1,
And they all take 8 points of damage.
which isn't enough to kill them. Not even close.
Yeah.
Um,
One
and-
guy's been getting whomped on, though.
It's possible. Actually, you're
Yeah, the one wolf I hit.
Oh, the one wolf you hit, and also the goblin spellcaster.
Yeah, and I will take him down. And actually, it did matter if he was alive or not. He is still alive.
Okay.
All right. Okay. And then that is everything. Anybody else make that athletics check? Okay. All right. So at that point, you guys are all running. You all are going to take 1 attack. And
Whoa. I was going to ask, would that be acrobatics instead, or is it just athletics?
yeah, you absolutely can use acrobatics. Yeah.
9 plus. So an 11. No, I don't make it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm going to give 10 because you're right. That was very applicable. Okay. 10 XP. And then I'm going to go around. What is your AC?
AC is 18.
Okay. That is a hit. These are all coming at a +4. And actually, I'll tell you if it's a +4 or +2. That is a hit. And so so actually what happens is on your back you feel this terrible scratch as this gigantic swarm bat, from a bat from the swarm of bats, like kind of clenches into your back and like tears at you. And he is going to do +2, 10 points of damage. Yeah, exactly. And so he got, and it's big, like its wingspan is like 6 feet, right? And then it's going to be a +2. What's your AC?
16.
16. And it's a thrown dagger. It misses terribly. What do you got?
21.
+4. And they need a 17. All right. And actually, this is going to be fireball, which will also hit which this is for all three of you. So if it hits, it is a fireball that will hit all three of you.
Well, and then that's probably reflex, and that's a
Right.
13.
So what do you? What are you higher than 17?
My AC is a 17.
What's yours?
I'm right there.
Or what's your AC?
Yeah, well, you said it's a fireball, right?
Oh, yeah. No,
Fireball's
he's
a-
absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You're out of range. That's correct. And he misses horribly. And there is a fireball that scorches the earth around you. And at that point, you guys pull ahead, and you guys pull ahead. You use your knowledge because you've already seen the terrain to kind of pull up onto a hill, and actually you see about half a dozen of these goblinoids come up the hill, and then the whole beautiful day just disappears. The rift sweep drops, right? And then you guys in turn go down with the riders and just like kill these goblinoids easily, just slay them. And at that point the riders kind of circle. They actually, like, you can see once they're done, they do this big circle around you guys, and then they stop and they slam their flag into the ground, and they all jump off of their horses and begin to introduce themselves.
Did the big guy with the big mace, did he follow through?
He did not. And I will tell you, actually, so I'm going to tell you what you guys just fought. Actually, no, I'll do the introductions, then we'll tell you what you fought.
Well, when they do the
don't see
circling
anything
us,
that
I caper in delight as they do that because I love the antics of the horses.
So 25 XP for looking. What'd you find?
There is nothing about rolling a 1 on
Oh,
it.
so there's no critical failure. That's fine. Okay. All right. And actually, that's interesting. Okay. So you can automatically succeed. That is interesting. Okay. All right. And I still need to find these guys. Sorry.
It's probably like D&D, just on skills, not attacks.
All right. So it is. So the guy comes down. He has an eye patch. He is wearing male armor. He has all these horses are amazing. They're all like purebreds, really large, clearly bred for war, but also very fast. He says, "I am Theodred, heir of Rohan. This is my." And he says, "This is Hama, captain of Rohan, and also my other captain, Erkenbrand, as well as he says, as well as the brave men of Rohan." And then they, and all of them, kind of hold up their
Flags.
their flags, and kind of give out a cry for Rohan.
So is this while they're riding, or do they actually get?
Oh
down?
no,
They got off the horses.
they're off their horses.
Okay, so while they get down and we all get close to have a conversation, I kind of plop down for a moment, and I just start kind of bobbing my head back and forth, and I've got another kind of plate built in to the back of my armor here that I'm just scratching my neck a little bit, and the spores just kind of begin
Nice.
to seep
That's
out.
awesome. Very cool. All right. Thank you for healing. And they say thank you for helping us to best Drazog the Beast Caller. He says one of the mighty Urukai, Grablag, as well as their warg marauders. And they say, and their bat swarms and that mighty cave troll. Right? So, the Rift Sweep has brought in, and these are clearly men of Rohan. If anybody's familiar with that, with who they are now, it might help. Now, your players would be, your characters, no, because they don't have any kind of awareness of pop culture, not much at all.
There might have been some kind of loose reference in the gaming store, but that was a long time ago.
Yeah. So, and at that point, one, they begin to heal, which is very and they all you kind of see that they have a little bit more of a stitch in their step, and actually. Does anybody here need to do healing? Or actually,
well, they would
at
all
this
be.
point, you're all going to use it.
It's just one hit point around until they're full.
Oh, nice.
So 10 rounds for me.
And then also, you guys can use your second wind. So I don't think is anybody not full.
A short rest is 5 minutes, and you heal and reset your
Perfect. So everybody's back to full. Okay. All right. So and actually, that's hugely helpful. Thank you for doing that for the group. And so at that point, there's this like big, moment of, them talking and thanking you for the ability to, for their aid, which they were, said, and then they tell you about this great battle that had been happening near Fangorn, and where, multiple armies had come in, and it was all because the Elven kings were disagreeing with the Dwarven kings. And other forces, especially the forces of Moria, had come in to take advantage of the situation.
I quickly grow bored and begin going about naming the horses. And I named them all Sir Gregor.
Very cool. So once that's done, you guys, who is going to do the deal of explaining these poor people where they are now?
So I will. Once everyone is kind of settled in, I'll offer to break bread with them and have a meal, and then share the unfortunate news of their world is no longer. They're no longer in their world, but are in a.
There's only
place.
one of us that doesn't look like a freak.
Yeah.
I mean, I am a giant mushroom. They can't. Obviously, they have to understand that I'm not.
Please
from
let them talk to me.
All right, so one, you can do that. The only problem, though, is your rations. You guys are in a post-apocalyptic world. Normally, you have enough rations. If you share with anyone, that goes away. So from now on, if you do take this action, you will start by losing 10% of your hit points at the beginning of the day because you're undernourished. Do you still want to do that? You don't have to make that. You can make that decision now that you know what it will cost. What do you want to do?
Well, I mean, we have the ability to scavenge, right?
That's assuming you're scavenging. You're always scavenging.
Oh.
You always are scavenging. You guys eat rats all the time.
Did we kill any bats?
Some of the bats. Oh, do you want to eat? As soon as you. Well, okay. As soon as you say it, they're like, no. You cannot eat any of that. He says those are the Forsaken. He says you cannot eat any of those. They are tainted by the eye of Sauron. He says you cannot eat any of that. Now you guys are like, that's a Tuesday.
What does that mean?
We eat tainted meat all the time. Are you kidding? Like
I'm going to
you're like,
consult.
Does Eye of Sauron contain much rads?
I will consult my poly relics, and I'll reach into the pouch that hangs around my neck. And
Let me roll.
I pull out one of the dice. No, the relic says that it is truly unwise to eat that meat.
yes. So the question still stands. If you share with them, it will cost you hit points or some other resource, even extra time, which means that your defenses will be lower than normal. In this world, you don't share with anyone without a cost. There's always a cost. This is a
I
post-apocalyptic
definitely
world.
do not share.
Yeah,
food.
exactly.
Well, then instead of offering to break bread, I will say, can we share tales?
Yeah, absolutely, and they're very happy to do that.
Now,
Yes.
I may or may, I don't like, I'm stupid, but my wisdom's average. The horses, do they have saddlebags and packs?
Oh yeah, lots.
So they probably have their own stuff.
Yeah. Oh
So-
yeah, absolutely, they do. They don't really care about food right now, not that much. They're shocked that they're here, and they're like looking around, and they're starting to get an idea. Now, you guys actually kind of a little bit have, if any of you have empathy, for these kind of people, you realize this is a terrible thing that's happened for them, because essentially they're done. Like, they are no longer in their world, and they're here.
Golem rarely knows where he is.
So there's no way another rift could happen, and so they
That
can go
is a
back?
great question. There is always a chance that the rift will be a rift that opens. It's about 1 in 1,000, and it does happen. But the biggest thing is right now.
If Gary has learned anything from watching old DVDs of the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon, that you never make it through that rift.
Yeah, exactly. That's true. That's exactly right. That's a good reference. So yes, that is exactly right. It is very, very challenging. Right now,
After things are kind of settled, I will do as need be done, and take any essentially loot from the orcs and goblins. Clearly they had daggers or some kind of weapons,
absolutely, yeah.
and it's probably better than the scavenge stuff that some of us have. I'm using a freaking stick as a weapon.
Yeah. Actually, so the vast majority of them, actually, they do have silver on them. Each of those guys had between 1 and 3 silver apiece. It's a total of 10 silver pieces. And so you can literally write 10 silver pieces because that's what they are. Now, there are smelters on this world, lots of them. And so they'll be valuable as, and also if there's anybody who has ever seen a rift from this world, they may want those things. So you have 10 silver pieces. You can split those up if you want. And then the other thing that happens is there was quite ruckus. There was a lot of, when they ran in, there was a whole bunch of combat. There are tons, like this world is covered in detritus of the old world, right? Not all places, but this place is. And so essentially, one of the things that happens was that one of the trash piles that were there got kicked over and actually exposed an Omega Tech. So everybody can roll a flat D20. Whoever gets the highest will be receiving that Omega Tech.
Ha! I got a 20.
Anybody had 20. There you go. Anybody beat a 20?
16.
All right, there you go. One Omega. What'd you get?
The patch.
Oh, you're gonna be able to quit smoking. That's awesome.
When you slap this thin metallic disc onto the back of your hand, medicinal nanomachines enter your bloodstream and repair your wounds.
Wow. All right, that is very helpful, and and that is readied. You don't have to put that into your deck. That is readied. Okay, so you have the ability to use that.
So I have 4 cards ready.
Yes, you're doing really well on Omega Tech. At that point, you guys spend like 3 hours getting the roll hand guys to understand what's happened, and some of them are very, very quiet. And then the other, and so they really, really thank you for everything that you've said. Oh, and I'm sorry.
So would I just write assorted orc weapons?
Yeah, actually, they do have. Only one of them has a fine weapon, and that was from the two daggers that you have. Are you going to keep those, or are you going to put them out for the group?
I don't know. Do you want them? I don't know. Do any want them? Because I would otherwise use them.
You won't use them, or what?
I would.
I'm forbidden from using edged weapons.
Okay.
So actually, at that point,
I mean, you are feline. Would you perhaps use them since you're, feline with the daggers?
the only other things that they have, there's just a lot of different types of food. They don't have too many things of weapon, but the daggers are extremely good. And so I will explain what those are. Hold on.
So, how many times am I referenced to as a rock troll?
A rock troll, yeah. Oh, they would say they would think you were a small cave troll. They are amazed to find that you are actually helpful. So
No, I'm all right.
the daggers that he has, you guys are able to scabbard those, so they do have plus 10 ongoing damage for the first time they're used. After that, they won't have that, but they are excellent. They are a one-handed weapon that does 1d10 plus 5, both of them, which is higher than the 1d8 plus 3. So, who wants those, or where are they going?
So far it seems to me.
I'll take one if you
Okay,
are
then.
with it.
All right, yeah. So so you have, an Urukai fine weapon, an Urukai fine dagger, and it is 1d10 plus 5.
How you spell Urukai?
Urkai. I'm sorry, Urukai.
So did we all get
And
2
it's-
silver there?
And the on.
Yes. Well, you're splitting up the silver? Yeah.
I was running it down to party church thinking
Yeah.
you'd get more stuff, but
Yeah.
And the
So 2 per.
ongoing damage, is that a D10 every turn or what?
10 every turn.
So you're going to stab somebody with that knife. They're going to get their normal damage, and they'll take D10 at the start of the next round, and every round after that until they make their save.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, it's pretty deadly. Yeah, but you only have one use of the poison. Okay, all right. And so at that point, you also none of you want the men of Rohan with you, correct?
Nope.
No.
Yeah, exactly. And they are warriors of their own type, and so they ask whether they should go north, east, south, or west. Where do you send them? Do you give them a destination?
Was there an area that is not in the direction we're going that they would be able to do well knowing what we gleaned from them?
Actually, that is an excellent. The problem with this world is there are not many sanctuaries, and where there are sanctuaries, the places to get. If you were to send them to a sanctuary that you think is there, right? The places surrounding it are incredibly deadly. So think of America. If the men of Rohan were here, where would you send them? That's the real question.
West.
Well, yeah, that's very good. I'll give 10 XP right there. So you tell them Colorado, and that is exactly where the men of Rohan are headed. So they do begin to head out west, and they thank you, and the captain again, thanks you very much. And you guys are a little sad as you see them go, because you're like, well, they used to live in this world, now they're in a crazily different world.
I'm not sad.
Yeah. And so at that point,
I'm sad. I'm sad to see all the horses go.
yeah. So you guys begin traveling up to.
I yell at you, do not run into rifts.
But
No!
the horse.
No!
Ow.
But daggers.
Yeah.
What?
But daggers.
And you do get the sense that he's right. That was if you got me the only way. If you decided not to run, that could have got real ugly real fast. Just be aware of that. All right. So you guys are heading north again, and it's a bright day. You make your rations. You make your rations. Are you going to sleep in, or are you going to head out right in the morning? Because if you start fatigued, it will cost you 10% of your HP. Yeah. Which will not be healed by your overall
Because it
healing
lowers your
thing.
maximum.
Yeah. What's that?
Because it lowers your maximum.
Right.
I think that we sleep until we won't have that situation.
All right. Yeah. So you guys are going to start out later in the day. Okay. So
I
you
don't
sleep-
do anything until they tell me
Right.
what we're doing.
So you guys start out at from 10 to 11, and then so about 11 o'clock you're on the road again and you're moving, and you guys are heading up toward, and you're crossing a bridge, right? And as the bridge, there's just a wind that sweeps in, and there's all kinds of things. There's all kinds of old world things that you see, and you continue to go forward. And as you're going across the bridge, the only thing that's unusual is you see a plushie that is the size of a plushie that is the same color as a Crown Royal bag, and it is ursine in shape. Right?
I run up to it.
And you pick it up.
It's a plushie? Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay.
It's a
So
bear,
you pick it
right?
up. It is a bear.
Teddy bear?
Right. So what is it?
Teddy bear.
That's right. It is a teddy bear.
I start yelling, Teddy, 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 and run towards it.
Okay. All right. So you pick it up, and it's just a teddy bear. There's nothing unusual, and it is a teddy bear, the color of a Crown Royal bag, right? And so you guys, you pick that up, and you continue to move on, right? And you're probably about 40 miles out of Baltimore, and you're going through a small town, right? And the small town is you see like a barbershop hole, and you see some old Jeeps that are rusted out, and the wheels are kind of melted onto the ground. and you can see that they're just riddled with like laser bolts and slug items and things like that. And as you're moving forward, at that point, you see someone coming in on a horse, just like yours, right? And
traveling in the same direction we are, they're coming at
you, right? And at that point, the person is coming toward you, and you can see there's a moment, like it's about 300 feet out. You're both on the same street. It seems to be one rider, and you guys both kind of hesitate for a second, and then continue to move forward. Do you guys do anything to encounter this rider, or just walk straight toward the rider?
This wave. Hello.
All right. Okay. All right. So at that point, you do get waved back. All right. And at that point, the person, they keep waving. You keep waving, and that's kind of a sign. Hey, I don't have a weapon. At least as one hand. You guys keep coming, and what you see is there is a humanoid on a horse, and the humanoid has a very large lance, right, which is actually the cobbled parts of an old transmission with a sharpened point, right? And when the closer you get, you hear, and you realize that this person has this helmet that comes to a point in front of their face, and there's like these filters on the front. The helmet is armored, right? And the gas mask is built into it, and the humanoid is wearing all gray leather, and there is a red
insignia.
Hold on, let me see what the right color is. Yeah, okay. It is blue. All right, so, and I'm sorry, I got it wrong. I got it switched. He has blue, he is wearing gray leathers, and actually, you don't know the gender. And it is blue lines, 3 wavy blue lines in that color. And he says, "Ho!" He says, "I am Outrider Rex of the Perpetuals." He says, "I greet you."
Hail and well met. We are traveling north.
He says, "Excellent." He says,
I greet you back, Rex. I like that name, Rex.
Thank you, good sir. He says, "I am seeking someone, and I wish to ask if you have seen them. I am willing to trade for your honesty, but your honesty will be gauged." And at that point, a floating orb comes up behind him, and it begins to scan. And he says, "If one of you would be willing to connect to my monitor," he says, "I can ask you the question, and I would be willing to trade 1 Omega Tech item for your truth."
One question: is it shiny?
It is not that if it is shiny.
No. Is the orb that comes up, is it shiny? The object.
The needle point. So essentially, this is a floating drone, right? And it has essentially a needle point, which is going to pierce into one of you, and he's going to ask his question, and this thing will be able to tell.
That's what I mean. Is the drone made of metal and shiny?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I absolutely walk up to it and he's trying to see my reflection in it.
I
He says,
volunteer.
"Careful there, sir. Careful. Do not touch. Do not touch."
I volunteer.
All right. He says, "So be it." All right. So he says, and then at that point he says, "Have you seen a woman with blue hair, orange skin, and a limp?"
I haven't, right?
No, you have not.
I have not.
All right. He says, "Excellent." He says, "I appreciate your truth." He says, "Has anyone in your group seen them?"
To my knowledge, no.
All right.
I start listing everything we've seen.
Oh my, that's good. That's interesting. And he says, "Fascinating."
And that includes some recent additions.
But he might have to figure out what that means. I might be like a bunch of Sir Gregors, bunnies,
That's good.
Owie Bunny.
Right. All right. So he says, "Thank you very much," and he reacts okay to you, and then he gives you an Omega Tech Ishtar Fizz Neurojack. When you plug this matte black jack into the back of your neck, it's party time. You gain +2 power bonus to athletics checks until the end of the encounter. In addition, roll a d20. You can add the result to one athletics check you make during this encounter. So he gives you that, and he says, "Thank you, most kind." He says, and then at that point, that's pretty much all he asks.
So in
Do you have any bottle caps or bobbleheads?
That's a great question. They are very rare. I'm going to roll. If I get a 19 or a higher, he has C1.
19 or higher.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, tough luck. All right.
so
Yeah, go right ahead. Yes.
I ask, is there any here that are injured? Is there anyone that is looking to trade?
Is there anyone who is looking to trade?
It's just a lone dude on the road, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
it
Oh, I
is
thought
just
you said
yeah.
this is a town.
No, it's
right.
a
It is.
different
It's
area.
an old. I'm sorry. It is an old abandoned town.
Oh.
Yeah, I should have been more clear.
Okay,
about
my
that.
apologies.
Yeah, and so he's an adventurer, just like.
How
you.
else am I
Pretty
supposed to
clear.
sermonize if I don't have people to do so?
Yeah. Well, you can sermonize to this guy. You're done with your business. Yeah.
It's one guy.
Right.
That's-
Exactly. Okay. So.
I need the common folk.
Yes.
Guys running around with their own flags are not going to be not going to be the type to change. So does he have anything that he wishes to trade?
He says, he says, I and my organization are looking for this person. For your promise to come and find me, he says, in Williamsport, if you see this person, I am willing to trade, but each of you will have to swear an oath.
Blue hair, orange skin, and a limp?
Correct. A female.
What you want lady for?
He says, that is an excellent question.
You need a girlfriend?
He says, no, she is an expert in, he says, in trans-dimensional portals.
Trans-dime... Essentials?
Yes. He says, where are you heading?
New York.
He says, good. He says, I warn you, do not stop at the he says, do not stop at the tri-portals. They have been down for 2 months. And there is, he says, that is what the Perpetuals believe is the case. Although the people in Philadelphia would tell you differently. Be careful.
Well, that is not our destination, so thank you for the warning, but I do not believe it's going to affect our journey.
He says, for your oath, will you be willing to trade one Omega Tech item?
I cannot speak for everyone.
You must speak for it. He says,
Well,
he says,
I'm putting it. I'm
Right, yes,
kind of
yeah,
turned
exactly.
from them, and
he says, who is your leader? Who can speak for all of you?
I
There
pointed-
is no one leader.
I pointed at Pretty Kitty.
He says, would you be willing to speak for the
No.
group?
And I will not trade Omega Tags with you.
Right now he is Grumpy Kitty.
So be it. I shall leave you to yourselves. A good day. All
safe
right.
travels.
Yes. All right. So at that point, he goes forward. Okay. You guys begin your travels again.